Welcome to the Indy news section of the Wrestling Rundown. If you watch the Raw review, you know who we are.
It hurts the...
It's the painful clutch.
Killing my mom.
Okay, guys, we got Indy stuff to talk about. King of Trios.
Ow.
Oh. This is the King of Trios report.
Yes.
Second to final edition. Because we won't know the winners until next week. Speaking of winners, I just won that one. But yeah, okay.
I think based on that, we would lose King of Trios because you just took out one of our wrestlers.
I know.
Dick move, bro.
My bad.
Team Animal House loses.
To itself.
No, this is just Kevin Hart's heel turn.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a dick.
Okay, so we had the first round on Friday.
Yes, we did.
8 trios matches. We opened up Team UK versus the Block Party. Team UK advances. A foreign team moving on in the first round.
I
It doesn't happen very often.
I believe the Block Party was also it was like European warfare. So yeah.
So I guess that was bound to happen either way.
Yeah. Then we had the Devastation Corporation would move on over Team Extravaganza,
which we kind of saw coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely the biggest size mismatch in the tournament first round.
Absolutely.
But with the interesting note that Max Smashmaster got body slammed by Thunder Kitty.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Then we moved on to Gekido versus Night Eye for the Pirate Guy and Princess Kimberly. Everyone was saying that Princess Kimberly performed above everyone's expectations for this match.
Sweet.
Gekido ended up getting the win. Interesting note how Jigsaw would refuse to face Jolly Roger during the match.
Yeah.
Not sure what that's spawning from, if it was something from prior, between the Pieces of Hate versus Night Eye for the Pirate Guy.
Well, it does kind of carry over into Night 2 as well.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to in just a second.
But yeah, so Night Eye for the Pirate Guy would lose to the Gekido.
Another one.
17 ends up making Jolly Roger tap out.
Yes. Which was another one we thought.
So did you guys, and I'm sure you have because I know you guys, ever played a game, medieval type fantasy game with a lot of puzzles in it? You gotta like figure out all the little tricks and levers and puzzles. Apparently knights are really good at puzzles. That's why Jigsaw didn't want to
go against Night Eye for the Pirate Guy.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Alright, there you go. Then we had 3-Pec-O versus BDK Cubed. 3-Pec-O,
my team
pick to win.
My team to take King of Trios this year.
They went against Dr. Cube, Aries, and Noggin. A lot of people were tweeting, that Dr. Cube had put on mask prior to this match, and that he looked intimidating.
Yeah, intimidating. That was the word I kept seeing.
Now here I was thinking this is kind of a weird thing to be hearing because Dr. Cube is tall and skinny, and he looks like one of the Colony members circa like 2006 when they were super stick thin. But people were saying no, he looked good and he wrestled during the match. But 3-Pec-O would end up taking advantage, beating them out, and then
which Shane Matthews won with the Boston Crab on I believe Aries, something like that.
I don't know.
Shane Matthews won.
Yeah. And then we had probably one of the more interesting turns of events of the night. Dr. Cube revealed that he was indeed not actually even Dr. Cube.
But he was
the returning Jakob Hammermeyer.
Which is awesome. Because we've been wondering where he's been.
Yeah, no word. Like, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He hasn't posted since Never Compromise.
That's impressive.
Like, since last year, when Chikara folded under. He hasn't been on his Facebook since then.
That is dedication to a storyline. That is awesome.
But yeah, and apparently he's in control of the Eye of Tyr, which is what the BDK used to control Delirious. Now he's using to control the monster of the BDK Noggin, and made him turn on and attack the BDK leader Aries. So I'm interested to see what this means. Does it mean Jakob's going to have his own agenda and break away from the Flood with Noggin? Or does it mean they're going to be effectively kicking Aries out of the BDK?
And on top of that, where does this leave Dr. Cube?
Yeah, where is Dr. Cube? how did he get the Eye of Tyr? Because in previous Chikara events, the Eye of Tyr was destroyed,
By Ultramanus Black.
which is what released Delirious from the BDK, and gave Delirious the ability to talk.
Very briefly.
So, I mean, a lot of interesting things.
Yeah.
The one thing is that a lot of people were complaining about the fact that the fans were cheering for Jakob for his return. Because while it was his return, and a lot of people, like we were, excited to hear of Jakob coming back, he was doing something that was villainous.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's the great thing about wrestling, though, is that even if you're supposed to hate the guy, to see someone who we've enjoyed from previous Chikara events, to have him come back, me and Kevin would have been losing our minds anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that we're going to get around that.
And we missed it. We could
I
have
know.
been there. But you were on WrestleMania.
Next year, bro.
I'm sorry. The stigma of WrestleMania is broken for me because I've already been. So.
Yeah.
Moving on, we had the Golden Trio, the Campeones de Parejas and Icarus, taking on LAX. The Golden Trio would defeat LAX. And what impressed me the most of it is that was Mr. Touchdown got the win over Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah.
Huge feather in the cap for that guy because last King of Trios, 2 years ago, he got a one-on-one victory over Sean Waltman.
Yes.
You know? So, like, as far as victories in King of Trios goes, he's got quite a compilation now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mr. Touchdown's impressive, so I'm glad they're letting him get some of these high-profile wins.
Yeah. We moved on. We had the Spirit Squad show their spirit and defeat Sin Bodhi in the auditorium when I believe it was Kenny and Mikey hit a double top rope leg drop on Sir Oliver Grimsley.
Yeah. No real news as far as like Kefka's potential injury.
Yeah, a lot of people said he was working fine. So,
So good on you, Kefka.
Yeah, I figured the Spirit Squad was going to advance at least one round.
Yeah, either the Spirit Squad or LAX were going to
Yeah.
move on, and it looks like the Spirit Squad is going
I
on
was-
to round 2.
I was holding out hope that Spirit Squad versus LAX was going to be a thing, though.
I think there were a lot of people
Yeah.
Yeah.
for that.
I just would have lost my shit once Homicide saw them.
yeah. So then we moved on. The last two matches, the main events, kind of, per se, we had the reigning, defending King of Trios champions, the Spectral Envoy, taking on
pick.
the Flood. His pick.
Special Envoy.
So, Hollow
Yeah.
Wicked, Ultramanus Black and Frightmare versus Eddie Kingston Volger and Jimmy Jacobs. Interesting note, the Flood brought out Snow Troll from the Baltic Siege who
Yeah.
they had captured on a leash to the ring.
Yep. And I actually had him tied to the ring during that.
Yeah. During the match, Spectral Envoy looked to be gaining the advantage over the Flood, and Deucalion would come out with former stablemate of the Spectral Envoy in different incarnations, Delirious, who would attack and distract Ultramanus Black, allowing the Flood to get the win over Frightmare and Hollow Wicked.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Thomas's pick was then eliminated.
Thomas
from-
Wolfe has been eliminated from King of Trios.
Yeah, and then we had the last match of the night, which I thought was an odd pick to have as the main event match to the
Well,
opener.
Yeah, I would say, as far as, like, all these trios, like, these are the two, like, actual trios.
Yeah.
Like, they're not
Yeah.
just kind of thrown together for the tournament.
Mhm. They're really like the
and-
only ones that have like history
Yeah,
between each
yeah,
other.
yeah, that's it.
We had the Colony versus the Colony Extreme Force. Partway through the match, while the referee was distracted, Arctic Rescue Ant would attack Worker Ant in the leg with his snowboard,
Yeah.
injuring Worker Ant, who had to be removed from the match, making it effectively 2-on-3 for a good portion of the match. Towards the end, Worker Ant would come back, make a triumphant. Everyone's been calling it the Terry Funk moment of Worker Ant because of Terry Funk's return after being taken out of the match at Extreme, One Night Stand 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. As cool as I'm sure it was when Worker Ant came back, it should be no surprise that he did, because he's such a hard worker.
He is. He's a great worker.
He is a worker.
Yeah, and he came back and with the Colony back 3-against-3, they took the match over Colony Extreme Force, eliminating them from the
They
tournament.
won with the anthill.
Yeah. So that was fun stuff. Moving on to night 2.
Wow,
Night
that was
two.
a quick night.
Yeah.
I feel rested.
We open up with the first of 2 Ray Day Voladores eliminator matches.
Oh yeah.
First note, Chuck Taylor tried to hide in the crowd.
Yes, he was hiding in the 5th row.
Yeah.
I love Chuck Taylor.
But the match between Chuck Taylor, Rich Swann, Tigre Uno, and Shinron was eventually won by Shinron the Spirit Dragon. Big note, post-match, enormous please come back chant for Tigre Uno.
Yeah. These TNA guys were given a chance to shine, and apparently Tigre Uno really impressed people.
Yeah, well,
And-
I mean, he's the #1 Tiger, so.
He is. In all of TNA.
And that's actually a pretty good thing for us because we all picked Shinron to go forward in win Ray de Voladores, and he is officially going on to the finals.
Yeah. And then we had our first quarterfinals match. Devastation Corporation took the match against Team UK. It was just another one of those same thing as versus Team Extravaganza. Team UK,
they're
much
big.
smaller than Devastation Corporation.
Devastation Corporation is just
A massive, massive team.
I'm kind of surprised by how devastated they've been this whole time.
Me
too. Then we had a singles match between Juan Francisco de Coronado. It's a spinning heart. Juan Francisco de Coronado versus Rockstar Spud from TNA as well.
Yep.
A lot of people are saying this was a really good match. Juan hits his finisher, which is a bridging German suplex, gets the 1-2-3 on Rockstar Spud. Superior bow tie apparently goes to Juan Francisco de Coronado.
That does.
And then we had our second quarterfinals match. We had 3-Pecco, his pick to win, versus the Gekido. We had a lot of dysfunction in the Gekido match,
Yes.
in the Gekido team. Jigsaw was getting a lot of flack for refusing to fight Jolly Roger.
Shard and 17 were just bossing them around the whole time.
Yeah, and a lot there. It ended up getting into a shoving match between 17 and Jigsaw, which then ended up
Shard.
Shard?
Yeah, it was Shard and Jigsaw were getting into a shoving match, which allowed
Shane Matthews got the submission victory over 17.
Yep,
with the Boston Crab again.
Yeah. Maybe that was how they won. I could have been wrong with the win the night before.
3-Pecco
you could be wrong.
advanced over the Gekido team. So good note for 3-Pecco. They've eliminated 2 flood teams.
I'm still in the running to win King of Trios.
And we had that prompted moment post-match where Mike Quackenbush, along with some other members of the Chikara, appeared from the backstage area and confronted Jigsaw about his alliance with the dissolving alliance he's been having with Shard and 17 over this weekend, saying, "Hey, Jigsaw, we need to know whose side are you on. Are you on the Flood side or are you with Chikara? Because this is the battle, and we need you."
Yeah, and Jigsaw, one of the more surprising returns to come back with the Flood. He was teaming with the Shard prior to the folding of TNA, I don't know where that came from.
TNA is folding.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the
Worse than Morgali,
the folding
bro.
of Chikara. So yeah, everyone was kind of asking the question,
What side
was
Jigsaw would come back on?
So now they're really pushing that. It should be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and then we had the second Ray de Voladores Eliminator match. We had the Great Sonata versus Amasis versus Orlando Christopher versus AR Fox. Another great match. Orlando Christopher gets eliminated first by Sonata. Amasis takes out AR Fox with a 450 splash. But eventually Great Sonata would take Amasis out.
With the green mist and a super kick.
Yeah, and so it sets us up for our finals. Tomorrow, today, when you're watching this probably, it's going to be Shinron, the Spirit Dragon,
Past when you're watching this.
versus...
Who knows?
What?
I don't know when you're going to be watching this. So.
That's true. Sonata versus Shinron.
That should be, like, we know Shinron can go. We're just now getting our first look at Sonata with, seeing the couple of TNA matches he's had. So
what sells it for me is that he was the X Division champion for a while.
Yeah.
You have to be good in order to carry the belt.
And he is a student of
The Great Buddha, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, from everything I've seen of Sonata, what little it is in TNA, I've been a fan of his since I first saw him.
yeah.
So I'm excited.
So the finals tomorrow should be interesting.
And then we had the Golden Trio, Icarus and the Throwbacks versus the Spirit Squad, in what's dubbed the classic confrontation of jocks versus cheerleaders. Golden
this
Trio.
is a little bit different than the classic confrontation of jocks and cheerleaders, though.
What's that?
Well, normally jocks are trying to hit on cheerleaders.
Not male cheerleaders.
Yeah, but the classic confrontation of jocks and cheerleaders.
It's generally in the backseat of a car at
Yeah.
make-out point.
Right. This is not that.
Alright. This is the new defined classic confrontation.
It's 2014, bro.
But yeah, if I remember correctly, Icarus got Kenny to tap out to the Chikara special.
That he did.
And advanced the Golden Trio further into the semifinals.
Yeah.
And then we had Ashley Remington, smooth sailing, Mr. Yacht sailing, fruit basket giving man himself. Beat former WWE superstar Yoshitatsu, now going by his original given name Yamada, or Yamato.
Yeah.
Yamato. By disqualification. This really threw me off until I found out what happened. Ashley Remington also uses the German suplex as his finishing maneuver. Apparently, Juan Francisco de Coronado took offense to that, came out and attacked Ashley Remington, which then got Yoshitatsu disqualified.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in the end, he still got a fruit basket from Ashley Remington.
Of course he did. He's a good guy.
And looks like we're seeing another feud developing here.
Yeah.
Remington versus Juan Francisco.
And so it'll be Bowtie versus Ascot.
Yeah. And then we main evented night 2 with the Flood versus the Colony.
Oh.
Eddie Kingston, Jimmy Jacobs, and Volver coming out with Snow Troll again. Still leashed, still tying him to the ring post. Colony coming out, Worker Ant's knee bandaged up. Definitely a focal point they worked on during the match.
Absolutely.
And then very similar pseudo night 1 when the Colony started getting the advantage over Eddie Kingston and Jimmy Jacobs. Desalian shows up with former Colony member Soldier Ant, who then would attack Worker Ant's injured knee and cause the Colony to lose to the Flood.
Which, before you move on, going back earlier in the night, the Greenhorn Militia came out and actually challenged Desalian again. Because they didn't get an answer from it. Hello Wicked talked them down yesterday.
During night 1.
During night 1. So they came out and challenged him again. Still no answer, and ended up leaving.
Yeah, and Kid Cyclone even mentioned that they would take the fight to Desalian even if they had to wait for him to come out and attack him from behind.
Yep.
Which they ended up doing.
Yes, they did.
When Desalian came out with Soldier Ant, post the match, a lot of the Chikara roster members would come out and start defending the Colony.
Yeah.
Including the Greenhorn Militia. Kid Cyclone unmasked Desalian.
Yeah, and we have no idea who this guy is.
This is one of the first times you've seen, like, an unmasking of a big, stable leader and getting somebody that seems completely unknown.
Yeah.
Nobody who took
Very
any
impressive.
of the pictures of him or anything like that could tell us who this guy was.
Yeah.
But he's tall, he's big, he's bald, he's got black eyes.
Scary looking.
Absolutely
terrifying.
So I'm almost thinking we're gonna get Desalian against Kid Cyclone.
Yeah.
And according to some of the reports, apparently they killed off 3 Quinox and Creator Wrestler 2.
Yes.
Which I'm gonna be disappointed if that's true because they're doing way too many people now.
Well.
I guess it's we might be coming to the climax of the story.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you think about all the people that we've lost. I mean,
Because you got Cobalt, Labian Prado,
Tursus.
Estonian Thunder Frog.
Yeah. There's so many guys that have been taken out, and now with the reintroduction of these ancient artifacts like the Eye of Tyr.
That's another one. Is a lot of people are thinking that it's possible that Nokken with his attack actually might have killed off Ares.
Oh.
But it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so we know going into night 3, we've got Devastation Corporation will be facing 3-Pack-O.
I'm the only one left.
Yeah, we do know that 3.0 has a victory over the Devastation Corporation. Back when 3.0 were the Campeones de Parejas in a 2-out-of-3 falls match against the Devastation Corporation.
So there's hope.
Add Archibald Peck to it.
Oh yeah.
They've got a lot of hope taking this one. Then we know the Rey de Voladores final is going to be the Spirit Dragon Shenron versus former X Division champion Great Sonata. And we know the other semifinals match to King of Trios is going to be the Flood versus the Golden Trio. Basically, this is the match that a lot of people were predicting was going to be the finals of the tournament. They placed it well because this is kind of like the three of us agreed that it shouldn't be the finals.
Yeah,
because it was a very cliche final.
Yeah, way too obvious.
But it's the semifinals.
Yeah,
which is okay with me. And we're gonna see the rivalry of Kingston Icarus over the belt kind of reignite. We've got Jimmy Jacobs Vulgar. We've got the throwbacks. We've got the top guys from Chikara defending the company.
I had a thought. So night one. You're an asshole. Night one, we had Delirious screw over the Spectral Envoy.
Yeah.
Night 2, we had Soldier Ant screw over the Colony.
Yeah.
What if in night 3, we bring out Sugar Dunkerton?
I wouldn't put it past them, but at the same time, Destalion did bring out Soldier Ant and Delirious at You Only Live Twice.
True. We didn't know Jakob was Dr. Cube.
Yeah, we didn't know Tursus was going to come back at You Only Live Twice either.
It's Chikara, anything can happen, that's my prediction.
Anything can happen. I'm not seeing it happening, but if it does, I'll mark out again because I like Sugar Dunkerton.
Yeah.
And why not? Another
I think
return
it'd be cool
to Chikara.
if they brought Sugar Dunkerton out to screw over 3-Pack-O, but then he helped them instead. Because he's a good guy.
Huh?
You're not going to get him to screw over his buddies.
That's true, he's way too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows what's going to happen? A lot of stuff's going to happen.
And we got the tag team gauntlet still.
Yeah, they're still going to be there advertising the 10-team tag team gauntlet.
Yeah.
We have Team Energy, we have Oleg the Usurper and Jaka, we've got the Materi, and we've got Los Ice Creams and 6 other mystery teams. Potentially more than that, but we know, like, we've got the Osirian Portal who are in the wings, we've got the Dunn brothers from Team UK, we've got Max Smashmaster, Blaster McMassive, we've got, well, no we don't, they're in the semifinals. I take that back.
But if they get eliminated, they could end up
going back in.
entering themselves in.
We have the Colony. We get the Fire Ant and Green or Silver Ant.
Yep.
So there's a lot of viable combinations. Jakob and
Definitely.
Nokken.
Ooh, yeah.
Who knows?
They
And
could
other
definitely
outside
be favorites
teams.
to take it.
17 in the Shard.
Yep.
Who knows? Night Eye for the Pirate guy. I'm keeping my fingers crossed to see those guys in there. But yeah, that's
Demolition.
Demolition. Let's make it 3 times that you've appeared in the
3
tag
years
team
in,
gauntlet.
3 times in a row.
Can we do it? Can Demolition be there?
Oh yeah.
I'm still hoping Too Cool makes it Chikara debut sometime.
That'd be neat. What if X-Pac and X-Pakistan?
I saw a picture of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
So
Waltman loves the gimmick.
that could be a
I think.
hint.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, apparently Sean Waltman was having a hell of a time with ex-Pakistan, which was...
Oh, can we get the New Age Outlaws in the tag team gauntlet? That would be cool.
It would be. I mean, we've seen a lot of weirder things.
This is true.
In Chicago, we had Glacier.
Yeah, and
Team with Los Ice Creams.
WWE probably wouldn't say anything because they're not acknowledging the New Age Outlaws' existence.
It's true.
Yeah. So that's it for King of Trios. So
and they
far,
can be called the Old Age In-Laws.
oh no, that's if they reunited the Heart Foundation.
Okay. Alright.
But yeah, stuff is gonna happen night 3.
Yeah.
We also have the submission squad in there.
Yeah, are still in some sort of match.
Eight person match, 8-person Atomic Ghost action, which I mean are when I'm keeping my fingers crossed, them against the Spirit Squad.
Return of Mitch.
Yeah, does Mitch get to come back?
Mitch is gonna return and join his.
Apparently, one of the biggest pops of the night was during Golden Trio versus Submission Squad, or Spirit Squad, when the Spirit Squad would refuse to do their pre-match cheer. They were playing Babyface night 1, started playing heel night 2, which then got a huge rousing "We want Ziggler" chant. I'm not sure why they want Dolph Ziggler.
If Dolph Ziggler were to do a pre-match cheer, he'd do it.
It'd be the greatest pre-match cheer
Yeah.
I've ever seen. He'd sell the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I need to have Art Ziggler with him, too.
Can you imagine how good the Spirit Squad would have been if they had Dolph Ziggler?
They'd still be in WWE.
Yeah.
So yeah, and one more non-tournament match that they still haven't announced what it is yet.
All kinds of special shit because Chikara is awesome.
Thanks for watching the King of Trios report.
Yeah.
Part 3 or 4 now.
Part something.
Part 4. We did 2 episodes.
Yeah. We've been keeping
hyping this up for a long time.
We're keeping up on King of Trios because we love King of Trios. So far, the weekend has been awesome. I'm really excited to get.
Right now, as far as I know, they're releasing Night 2 tomorrow.
Yes.
To stream video on demand. Night 1 was released today. Video on demand. It's a live edit, so it's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the same cuts as they're gonna have on the DVD.
Yeah. So if you want to stay up to date, it's definitely a good thing to check out.
It's available for $9.99 on Smart Market Video on demand.
They know how to price stuff. So yeah, you can already check out Night 1. Night 2 should be released tomorrow.
And if it's anything like the last 2 years of King of Trios, 2012 and 2011, the DVDs were available 48 hours post King of Trios.
Yeah. So if you don't want to wait, check out
SMVOD.
SMVOD.com, and you can order the already pre-taped or the taped versions of Nights 1 and 2, but I just wait a couple days so you can order the DVDs. That way you can watch it without
It will be
issues.
a little more expensive though, because the DVDs are going to be $14.99 plus shipping and handling.
Well, but it's Chikara.
It is.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Why do you think I have the Great Wall of Trios?
Yeah.
Not because it's not worth it. It's worth it. Buy the DVDs.
He has it to keep the
Support
Mongolians
them.
out.
That as well.
But that is it for the Indie News segment this week. We're going to be moving on to the midweek wrap-up. Kevin Knox going to be coming back here in just a little while with his 5 matches not to miss from old school TNA. We got the SmackDown rundown, and we got Night of Champions predictions coming up. So
so much stuff.
We'll see. Quick, click the annotation so you can bring Kevin Hawk back to life. This has been the Indie News, and we'll see you at the midweek wrap-up.